All you need is the old 1/2 inch. International, baby. 5/8, 1/2 inch makes the world go round. Plan is here to fabricate EFI and supercharger. Probably take it one step at a time here, because you know, I ain't that smart. But so far, we've got the Holley Sniper 1 barrel with full digital display, mapping, and self-learning, which is good for me because I don't do any computers. And plug and play, supposedly plug and play. Look it up. Blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. So, in the first build, we'd probably end up putting this with the Scout I bought. Was a oil bath Carter carburetor, and I had problems with that, and they said there's some rebuilds that don't even do any good. Sometimes it's better to get a new carburetor. So I think for 125 bucks I got the double barrel Weber, and it's reduced down to this other template here, this other adapter. And so supposedly the Sniper goes on these old Fords, and there's some other Mustangs these guys have been talking about. But yeah, I'll have an opportunity to put it right down on this intake manifold, and it'll have low profile. I want to try to, you know, get this running first, and then I got this Pandair supercharger. I think it's a little overkill for what I've got here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this thing mounted on the motor, but I have a spot over here that I can use, but it's on the chassis, and I'll have to have some kind of a real adjustable belt that I have back up on a spring. I got to fabricate a bunch of stuff back here so that I can get this supercharger mounted so that I can use an adjustment or a spring tensioner, because the motor mounts are isolated from the chassis, and I want this thing to run, you know, on a belt, but it's got to also have, you know, some pretty good tension and consistency. Well, I'm hoping to get more than, you know, 90 horse out of what I got, and that should put some torque on this thing. I might have to build some real beefy stabilizers for the motor across the frame, if you know what I'm talking about. Probably get 7 pounds of boost out of here. I don't know what I'm talking about, 7 pounds of boost, but that's what I heard. Obviously gonna have to remove this fan, probably end up getting an electrical fan, and put an extra pulley on it for this. This is just rotating off of that, what do they call it, harmonic balancer? Maybe that harmonic balancer is down at the bottom. This guy's just the water pump pulley, fan pulley, so I should be able to rig something up here. I already got a electronic coil in here. What is that, Petronox or whatever, and it was hard to find. Geez, I mean, I'd hate to throw this setup away, because I did end up getting rid of the points on here, trying to get a little more horsepower, a little bit better of a start. But we'll see, man. It's time to break it down. Try to probably just put this on at first, and then we'll see about doing that. And then ultimately, this is going to be the build for the original 152. Instead of throwing an LS 350 in here or something else, you know, I'd have to get rid of the transmission, which is a very unique transmission. It's a dual stick, high-low range, and it's not beefy enough, and neither is the front end. But you know, we've done some other work. I have some other Scouts, and we've got some time into this here. This now, that's it. Let me see what I got. All right, people. I got the parts and pieces up here for the Holley rebuild. EFI, fuel filters, fuel pumps. I needed a 10 micron and a 100 micron fuel filter. And then the return line in with O2 sensor, and return line in for the fuel regulator that's built into the carb. So a couple of guys had some pretty good information on YouTube, and I'll do the box unveiling, but I wanted to start with the basics here, which is 66 Scout 800. 86 horsepower, net 93.4 gross, and I had a oil bath. Originally I had an oil bath with a Carter carburetor, and I was going through everything, trying to get everything working a little better, and this guy right here works, but it really doesn't get rid of every problem. The cold starts are still, you know, difficult, and there's just a little bit of a dead spot in the bottom, slow jet, whatever it is, and I don't know. Also, these cheesy ass air filters, I mean, I've hardly got 200 or 300 miles on this thing, and they blow out this fabric filters, and there is you know, aluminum plate with this gasket material here. And I've had this particular carb actually vapor lock on me. The Carter carburetor used to vapor lock on me. Then I ended up getting this carb, and it has vapor locked on me. I've had it completely boil up, and some people were saying because this needs to be a thicker gasketed material and not transfer the heat from the intake here up. But that stuff right there is all history after I get this EFI in, and ultimately the plan is to actually put this supercharger in also, and this is a supercharger for as much as a 3.5 liter engine, and what I have is a 152, and we're just kind of gonna going ahead and walk through a fuel injection first. I've got this thing running real good. I've got the Petronas ignition on it with a little nicer coil, some nicer wires. I mean, we're going step by step here, but the key is to get it running good before you put the injection system on it, which luckily for me, it's running pretty good. I got it pretty dialed. Timing light, old school. You know, if the EF bomb hits, you know, the EMF bomb hits, I'm still good, but I'm going with the EFI fuel injection, and I'm gonna get that tuned up and running just right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and throw the supercharger on there, and that's the plan. So it's kind of inconvenient to tape this whole thing, but I figured I'd give you a heads up. You know, I've done a lot of work on this rig, and nothing seems to really end up tickling me as much as getting just a little bit more horsepower. So and predictability. I'd like to have this thing out a little bit further on the trail and not, you know, boom, clackety clacking. So if I can get it running any better, you know, and when I got to do what I got to do, it's going to be ready for it. So first things first, I think I'm just going to go on ahead and do the exhaust O2 sensor bung, cut in, weld on, everything. I'm looking forward to that. Keep this guy on. They say 10 to 13 inches, I think, away from the intercept or in whatever it is, but I think I'll just put her where I can right here. Clean that up. And while I'm in here, you can kind of take a look at the disc brake conversion. This is for a Dana 30. If I had thought about it and knew better, I'd just put a Dana 44 in the front. That way I got the steering radius and the disc brake capabilities, but you know, the steering radius isn't good, the Dana 30's weak, and even though I got a new drive line built for this thing, $700 later, you know, I got all kinds of spring work done on this, and you know, it just would have been better, would have been easier just to do the Dana 44. Anyway, back to the welding on of the bung out of the intake or the exhaust here. What I'm thinking about doing here is I'm gonna go on ahead and get a step bit and get set up with a step bit, 1/2 inch I think it is, and then grab my welder out here and tape that, make video of that. This is looking like a mess here, ladies and gentlemen. Always take off your battery terminals before you work on your rig. Anyway, I just want to let you know on this bung here, I was going to do a 1/2 inch drill step bit in here between 10 and 13 inches and at 10 degrees or better. But then I looked in, and the kit comes with this strap-on bung. And so I'm gonna open that up and see if that's gonna be so much easier that you know, not high performance here, but I think this will work. So, as of right now, I did end up having a couple little teeny issues trying to get this thing fitted in here. Number one, the throttle body back over here is upside down. Mine used to push, now it's pulling. But that and the vacuum from the crank up here to the header, that's in the way. So there's some modifications that I'm gonna have to do there. But the carburetor fits on a 152. That is half of a 304 from what I can gather. This is the inline regulator return line for that, and yeah, I've got some luck going my way. Hopefully all that works out just right. And then unfortunately over here I ended up having to mount this this bung. This is about the size of it. I'm gonna have to mount that in this wheel well because it says to go 10 to 13 inches within this header pipe, and I can't do it up till these both 90s have creases on them, and so I'm possibly gonna have to mount that back up in here like that. Sorry, but that's where we're at right now. The old carb Weber 2-barrel aftermarket. The bit. All right, people. So we are gonna put this oxygen sensor in here. Possibly just like this. I'm sorry. In the wheel well, I'm sure I'll hear about that, but just couldn't do much about it right now.
Or whatever. Just like that.
So now we're gonna retrieve our little piece of metal, hopefully.
There it is. Always nice not to lose those things down in the pipe. Here we got asbestos. Or lead. It's probably lead. I didn't see the packaging. These clamps are nifty. Really easy to just snap around a piece.
Yeah, those are pretty nice if you ever worked on the regular banded ones. They're not so nice. Not so nice. Sun shining out today. My little friends playing on the toys, playing with toys. That's kind of like the first thing I really did with this EFI and turbocharger modification. This is the first kind of real work. I swear everything else has been research and a lot of buying little parts, miscellaneous shit. Probably just because I didn't buy the master fuel kit that comes with the sniper. I probably could have saved myself a lot on that, but I'm enjoying the, full process here. We're just enjoying it for what it is. That's where I'm at with that.
So while we're talking here, I figured I'd give you this tool review. This is standard nut driver set, and it's one of those multi-tool ones. But yeah, all these ones I run into, I don't like any of them for some reason or another. And it's pretty damn big. But I guess for this particular project right here, right now, I'm going to go on ahead and use it. But if I had to give it a rating, I'd give it maybe a 4 out of 10. Just because
it's so damn heavy and bulky. It is a real long threaded nut driver set, which I was really, that's kind of what I'm interested in. Getting the longest threaded one deep well. And we can get these on just right now, and then I'll probably turn underneath and get them from the bottom. Let's see how this thing fit in here. I think it's going to work out alright. I was able to, I should have, maybe, I'm going to get some flash for not welding a bung in there, but I had the bung, I was going to weld it, but this thing came in the package from Holly, so pretty excited about that. And then I got it all lined up in here pretty good. It's going to end up working out pretty nice right there, I guess. I mean, shit, I've seen worse.
So there's the final dealio. It is in the wheel well, but it's very strong, like Scout needs to be strong. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. One of the other tasks involved into getting this EFI nice and snugged in is removing this fuel pump. I still have the vacuum air windshield wipers. I love those things. Shit, people, it ain't gonna hurt me at all to get rid of this fuel pump. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get out of there. I ended up having some luck, but yeah, it's just a matter of this throttle linkage here. The throttle linkage that I'm trying to get around to get this fuel pump off, and I got that baby. And this throttle linkage is just going up and down. It's going up and down, and this guy goes reverse. It's down and it goes up, you see. So I think I'm gonna have to swing this around this other side and try to sneak it up around. I have to see how that works out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go on ahead and grab this hunk of shit out of here. This is a mechanical fuel pump with a vacuum assist. That didn't work. So I got her out. I have rebuilt this before, and it is a very expensive rebuild kit from the Scout guys. Whatever Scout parts Scout Parts guys that sell this. Anyway, they have, you know, a bunch of different carburetors, and just to track it down, just because I got a 152 didn't necessarily mean that I had a certain carburetor. And so there was a bunch of different farm equipment that they were throwing at this motor, trying to get it through the years. And this one is a 10 screw on the diaphragm and 8 screw on the vacuum head advance. So they called this a 10 and 8 on the rebuild kit. And like I said, it was kind of a bitch to rebuild, and I got all that done, and I still ended up you know, ditching it, but that's okay. Let me get it down here. It used to stick over this way, so when I push the throttle down, it would end up pushing down. Now when I push the throttle down, it'll end up pushing up. I just got to clear all this pipe work here, so I'm not quite sure if you saw that. I'd show you what I'm going to do here. So this is the inline for driver side fuel tank. This is inline for the passenger side fuel tank, and this is the fuel selector. So I'm only getting one return line in here, and so I'm going ahead and intercept it to the motor as quick as I can out of this valve. So I'll be coming up with a fitting to the AN6 fittings that the high pressure fuel injection stuff comes up with. I'll be coming up with that conversion, or that reducing bushing right here. Whatever ferrule fitting this is, I'll have to convert it from there. It looks like it's a, I don't know, 1/4 inch or 3/8. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I figured I'd go up on the top on this flat piece right here. I think it'll be okay. I think I'll be all right. Here's what we got, people. We're just doing a little tap die set in here because it's not pressurized so far. I'll have to maybe access a little nut inside there, but this is the flat spot, the only flat spot that I could use, and you can see the clearance. I'll be able to just take the tube, fit it right back down, and go right into there. There we go. I got it a little cleaned up over here. So what I just ended up doing was I have the switch that used to just do the light in here, which was just for fun. That switch that used to do just the light in there, now I have that light as an indicator underneath this guy. So this is straight from the fuse, 30 amp fusible link that I have, straight to the battery. Then it comes back here, I throw this one up instead of having it integrated into the ignition and the coil. I have this one up for the ignition. That'll send the signal to the sniper, and that's number 14 stranded. I'm pleased. I have got it started after a reverse wiring, negative positive reverse wiring on the coil. Luckily it didn't blow out my Petronox ignition, or luckily it didn't fry my sniper poly. But here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Digital display of what we got right now. This is learning right now all my parameters. This thing's picking up everything right now as we take it for our first little loop around the block, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Merry Christmas to me. Merry Christmas. Can I have some Christmas hymns? Oh, come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't be prouder of the Scout. This thing is really tuned. I mean, really tuned. I can't believe how smooth of butter. It used to be an on-off switch. This is butter. I got everything I ever wanted out of this sniper. There we go. Got everything I ever wanted out of this right now. Barely coming up to temperature. Still learning on the closed loops. Just driving it around. Driving it around. I couldn't be happier though. That is so smooth. So it's still learning, and then it'll come, finally end up, you know, when I start and stop this thing, and oh yeah, the power is so clear. It is so fun. I am jacked on this new system. It wasn't just about a carburetor replacement. It was more like we have to get this thing running like a Comanche 152 should have ran all the way back in the day, you know? This is living, ladies and gentlemen. I love this tack. That's gonna be so cool. Oh yeah, baby, that thing is so cool. Still learning it. Still going for a little cruise. Gonna give it a little shit right now. Dumping it in front of the neighbors. Coming up to speed now about. Oh yeah. We're pissing them off good now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have fuel injection in the 1966 800. Fuel injection in the 800, baby. So happy. Gonna have to get some more heat on these windows though. Look at that system. Isn't that so cool? Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure. Until next time, keep it on two wheels. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Fuel injection, Scout 800. We are not gimping it. We are actually, we're loving it. And like I said, I got a polarity issue with that coil right there in the beginning, and I never even knew before I ended up changing this EFI out. When I looked thoroughly at the instructions on all this stuff, I actually ended up finding out that that was why my RPMs were not being read by the sniper fuel injection. Anyway, I got a little motorcycle air filter on it right now because I don't want nothing crawling in there. I haven't found a hood. I'm kind of hoping to get the hood for the supercharger instead of just a temporary air filter right now. So it's going to do that little magic trick. But I got a disconnect switch for the entire system here. It's actually a breaker, a 30 amp breaker. I had another 30 amp breaker inside the sniper module. But yeah, I got a sensor for the coolant right here. Got my PSI gas sensor with my 100 micron fuel filter right up here. Lots of fuel lines, so if I have any problems. But yeah, there it is, my friends, for now.